feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 16th running of the VTuber Racing 2024 season. We are done with a halftime break, and now we are back to running races after a long break, almost a month worth of a break. But now we're going to run the next 14, 15 races here on this channel. The next couple will be pre-recorded, so there's no real live experience going on right now. But if you're watching the premiere, that means that you are kind of experiencing a live, I guess, live portion of this, as I'm doing most of the stuff in one take. We are here at Bristol Motor Speedway for today's running of the VTuber Racing 2024 season. And since it has been a long time since we have last covered this series, let's do a quick recap of the last race, which was over at Fuji Speedway. And it was a very intense race for those that did not watch that race. I do recommend watching it from start to finish, but in case you're also wanting to get a abridged version of the recap or whatever, watch the final 10 laps, 15 laps, and you'll get a good glimpse of that. It was a very hard battle between Kobo and Fifi and plenty others, but in the end, those two ended up side by side at the line, and the final interval between the top two was separated by only 1/100th of a second, which is quite a gap, considering that a lot of the finishes that we have had have at least been a couple tenths, maybe a little less than that, but we have never had one that's just barely edged out the 100th of a second interval at the line for the checkered flag. So far, that is the closest finish that we've had all season, but there's still 15 races left. We'll go through the starting lineup here in a moment. As for the points, Starlight has herself a 18-point gap over Noriboshi, and Belle is in third, but 31 points back. Between third place and sixth place, they are all less than 10 points apart from each other, so third place is up for grabs here today at Bristol. David's 41 points back in seventh. He has a chance to pop up into the top 5 once again, after he lost 3 spots after the Fuji race after having an abysmal run. Fifi up 6 spots, but back in 11th place. Luby back in 15th, but still gained 7 spots, the most amount in the top 20. But the top 10, as you see on the screen, maybe even more than that, I want to say, but I'm just going to highlight mainly the main top 10 for the most part. But yeah, 18-point deficit between the top of the championship standings and second place. And before we get into this race here, the next 4 races, including this one, are going to be pre-recorded. Here is that schedule. Maybe race 20 will be pre-recorded too. I don't know yet. It depends on what I'm going to do with the scheduling. If I want to skip a week for the Indy 500, or if I'm going to still upload something during that time. There might be a chance there is a race on the Indy 500 Sunday, but also at the same time too, I'm going to be at Indy this year, so don't expect it, because I might not get a chance to record anything by that time. Or maybe I will, brother. I don't know. So with that out of the way, let's quickly start this race off here. we will get ourselves lined up here with the starting lineup. Starting lineup for today's race sees the front row of Lumen and Fu. Two drivers that had a solid run at the Fuji Speedway last week, but they didn't finish super well. Both of them didn't. Bimble starts on the outside of row number 2. To the inside of them will be Callie. Top 5 starting spot for Kyoso in the 47. They'll start to the inside of Fifi. Hana Mizuki and Nori Boshi starts back in the 6th row, I believe. I think so. Actually, it's a top 10 start for Kyoso. I'll quickly go through the starting lineup, though. You'll see the starting lineup appear on screen, I hope. If I can find space in post-editing. Tairoki starts to the inside of Filian. Lucky starts to the outside of the pole sitter of Auriya. Soleil starts to the outside of Dreamer. Kaysod starts to the inside of Simu. This is back in the 20s. Melody starts to the inside of Weebu. Bell starts to the outside of DM, back of the field. DJ Overdrive and Nana Asteridia will start together. David on top of Merriweather, deep in the 20s. Lumi in the 64 starts to the outside of Sprite. Henya starts to the inside of last race's winner, Kobo. Fruit starts to the outside of Bell in the 69. Doki Bird in the 3 starts to the inside of Iron Mouse in the 22. Watson in the 4 starts to the inside of Gura, a Hololive row about really deep in the field, back in the 30s, deep 30s. Final full row sees the 2 of Saiki. Risu starts to the inside of William the Alchemist. And in the last starting spot is D in the 87. And that's where we end up with that. And we're going to start today's race with 325 laps around Bristol Motor Speedway. A very big, but very, very short track. The biggest short track in terms of baking, but the shortest track in terms of mileage. Base car is in, and we are set to go racing here at Bristol. 325 laps around here, and it's underway. The inside line's going to be a dominant line to start here. Lumen takes the advantage. Callie tried to push underneath Fu. Fu's going to lose a couple spots here to start off this race, but it's going to be Lumen who's going to start up front and lead the first lap. Callie gains up a couple spots, gets up to second. Kyoso battling behind them. And he'll clear off the 17, and he'll go up to third. The top 2 split themselves out just about a couple tenths. Lumen leads the first 2 laps. Callie trying to charge underneath. Single file through the top 5. Tairoki takes the 5th spot. Top 2 still separated by only a couple tenths of a second, but it's almost a full second between Lumen and Kyoso. Nori up ahead of the 24 for the moment. So in the point situation, Nori is going to gain just about a couple points, but still way too early. This is more than half of a full-length race. I saw some smoke. Let's see if David got involved in anything right here. Let's see. Yeah, he did. Oh, wow. This is back at 36. Gets right into the gate 5. Ooh, little contact there. Oh, Nana in the wall. Back down into the 77 to David. Four laps in. That is not a caution. But that is our first incident of today. And it comes at the expense of the 77 car. David getting doored by the 85. Might have been a receipt for what he just ended up doing. Callie right on the back bumper of that 52 car. It's still not making any moves right now. Still really nose to tail between the top 2. This might bring Kyoso back into the mix if these 2 go side by side. Lumen blocking really far low down the track. We look at the top of the screen here with a speedometer. Lumen's utilizing that 3rd gear. Everybody's utilizing 3rd gear. Nobody has a setup on here that is making them use 4th gear. Probably one of the only tracks, oval tracks, that you'll see that happen. Callie to the inside of the 52 of Lumen, and she will lead lap number 8, and that's her first lead change of today. 325 laps around here does sound like a lot of laps, but I will guarantee you that they're going to fly. Especially if all of them are green flag laps. Callie takes the lead away. Lap 8 leads lap 8 and lap 9. Still speeding quite quickly. That was Callie's fastest lap so far. 17:04. Here comes Lumen back underneath. Try to take the lead back, but it's not going to make a move happen in turn 3. Kyoso's starting to pull back up into the picture here between the fight for the lead. And that bottom line is going to be dominant all race long. If you can get to the inside of somebody, you're going to guarantee a change in position. 16.956 for Lumen, faster than Callie. Here he comes underneath for the race lead, looking to take it back. Single file pack back behind these two battling for the lead. Callie's going to lose second. Got to get back to the inside before Kyoso gets underneath him. Uh-oh. Lumen holds up to 73 up top, and here comes Kyoso back underneath. Trying to get up to second. And he's going to be able to hang on. There goes Callie back to third. Now it's Noriboshi who's going to try to take that old spot away. Callie's trying to put up a fight on that outside lane, but that might be hurting her more. Callie's probably going to more likely drop out of the top 5. Nori goes up to third. Now it's Tyroki underneath the 73 in the 41 car. Still hanging strong. It's about a 0.7 of a second here between the top 2, Lumen and Kyoso. Back in the field. David was able to recover from that spin, and he's back to the back of the field here. That's how short this track is. And with how everybody's checking up, oh, that was a close battle there between Lumen and Weebu. Again, this is back in the... Oh, contact between Hano Mizuki and Henya. Drifted up just slightly. There's contact. There's definitely contact. Single file through most, if not all of the field. Still 0.6 of a second between the top 2, so nothing going on back there. It was back in 35th, 36th, and 37th. D still trying to battle from the back of the field. And that's what both Kobo and Fifi did in order to get back, get up to the top 2 at the end of that race at Fuji. And it is mostly single file, but it's tight single file here, especially once you get back behind the field. Soleil trying to get up inside the top 30 by getting underneath Weebu, but that is not currently going on. Back up, front, top 4, very spread out. And how short this track is, there might be a possibility that we will see some lap traffic become a factor. Unless cautions become a big thing in this race. Cruise through the field here on the ticker. You'll see that the top 30 are separated by 10 seconds or less compared to the leader. The intervals are quite tight together. 37th place, 12 seconds behind the leader, which doesn't sound like which kind of sounds like a lot, even compared to a short track to a big track. Lumen's just at the back straightaway, and Hano Mizuki still has it crossed the line to start lap 22. The gap between first and second is dwindling down. It's down to less than 0.3 of a second. As soon as I say that, it's a little higher than 0.3 that time by. Also starting to trim down that gap between first and second. They're going to start drifting up that track a little bit. Still green. 24 laps into this race. And they're starting to slide up the track just a little bit. The closest battle inside the top 5 is between Noriboshi and Tyroki, and that's for third. Drivers are still setting about 18-second lap times. Oh, Lumi in trouble. Lumi's in trouble. No caution for the 64. What happened to Lumi? Oh, turn. Oh, wait a minute. Slides way too high up the track. Oh, into the wall and into the 86. That slows her up. And Hanamizuki. Also not a caution. Despite the massive checkup that's going on behind the field. So much so that the battle for 10th is raging on. Almost 3 wide between Melody, Kason, and DM. Oh, Dreamer in the wall. And again in the wall after bouncing off Melody. The tires are starting to wear out. And once these tires start wearing out, it becomes impossible to turn the car. Well, that might have helped Kyoso because now he puts a second gap behind the car. Or behind the car behind him, I guess. That's Noriboshi. And that kind of saved Noriboshi because Tairoki was all over her back bumper. The one that got the worst out of that was probably D. Well, I say that, but Lumi is 1 lap down now. Yeah, Lumi in the 64 is now 1 lap down in 37th. A caution could change that, maybe more than likely. Although we've seen 2 incidents in the first 30 laps, and not one of them called for caution. Still 0.4 of a second here between first and second. And it's a second more behind the 47 and the 94. So right now it's just the top 2 battling each other here on lap 30. Kyoso peaking low, trying to change up his line a little bit. Which means that he is not wanting to just hang back here. He wants to take the lead away when he can. He had a good run off turn 4. Brings the gap down to less than 0.2. As he get down the back straightaway. Also still hanging on. Keeping the gap just to 2 seconds. No more, no less. Still peaks low. He's telling that 52 if he gets to him. He's not looking to just ride back. That's what a lot of drivers have been doing all day today. They've been laying back because they know that they got a long race ahead of them. 325 laps, like I said. Now less than 300 to go. Kyoso's not wanting to hang back for 300 laps and wait till the last minute to make a move. He's wanting to make a move and get some bonus points while he can. So far, Noriboshi, if we're talking about points here, Noriboshi hanging on in 3rd. She would like to be up into this picture. And would love nothing more than that 47 to take that 52 side by side. Noriboshi starting to dwindle that gap down. Down less than 7 seconds. Or 0.7 of a second, I should say. Noriboshi's going to come back into this picture. It'll become a 3-horse tango for the lead at some point in time. Very dominant run by our pulse hitter so far today. He's only given up the lead once, and that was to Cali, but there might be a second time here. Kyoso looked more aggressively that time than the last few times down the back stretch. Here he comes down in the turn 1, looks underneath it, he's got it. Puts the 52 out of line, goes up high, and they've got to squeeze the 47 on the exit there. Keeps the momentum going into turn 3. Still side by side for the race lead. Almost dooring each other. Lumen hanging on defensively. And now the 94 is back into the picture. And Kyoso slides up and almost hits the 52. And now here comes not only 3rd, but here comes 4th, 5th, and 6th. Noriboshi, whoa! Too tight going into turn 4 there. Lumen hanging on aggressively. Noriboshi shoved to the high side. Here comes Tairoki for 3rd. I did not expect that outside line to work for the 52, but it might not have been the most ethically correct, or morally, I guess, morally correct way of doing it. But, gotta get the job done somehow. Battle for 4th here. Cali and Noriboshi tightly side by side. Here comes the points leader to try to take that spot away. That's not what the 94 wanted to see. And behind them, Lumi is coming back into the picture, although still 1 lap down. She's going to try and race her way back on the lead lap the hard way. Oh, Kyoso wow. Kyoso tried to go underneath Lumen. Lumen gave that spot up, but Kyoso did not commit to it. Now he's committing to it in turn 1. Still slides up. He's going to hang side by side with the 52. Can he get it working in turn 3? The grip's starting to go away. Whoo, whoo, whoo. What a pinch by the 52. Oh, contact. More contact. Big contact. 3 wide for the lead. They're squeezing. Callie to the race lead. 3 wide behind him. Starlight to third. Lumi in the picture. Still 1 lap down, though. But puts the 52 behind. Still on the outside line. Lumen's going to drop out of the top 5 and maybe the top 10 after what I can only describe as Bristol, baby. Wow. Callie back to the race lead. Still a 4-car battle. Arietta second. Kyoso back to third. Might be looking back to fourth. As Boshi's down to his inside. Still hanging on. Lumi right behind them. Again, 1 lap down. So it's just these 4. Top 2 split out from third on back. The 24 leads a lap and the 94 doesn't. That's a huge points boost by this 24 who's trying to mount a massive championship lead going into the second half of the season. Callie for the second time today, leading laps. The only other driver to lead laps in this race. Still tight between the top 2. Here comes the 24. Not to the inside yet, but looking underneath. Making the move. Might be going into turn 3 here. I am surprised that did not result in a caution. They really battled each other quite cleanly. For Bristol. For Bristol. Here comes the 24. Down the inside going into turn 3. Can she make it stick? Callie's going to try to pinch on exit. Not as aggressive as the 52, but the 24 leads that lap. Noriboshi now aggressively taking the 73. Oh my god. Oh, here comes Noriboshi. Got the 73 in turn 1, making a move for the lead in turn 3. And gets it. Top 2 in points. They lead a lap. Callie back to the back bumper. Lumi now to the inside of the 24. That's what the 94 wants to see. It's not for position, but here comes Fifi just underneath. 64 with that damage. Gonna have a hard time trying to get that 24 back. We'll keep an eye on it. Here comes Callie once again. Back to the race lead. Turn 3. And clears off 4. Smart move by the 94. Don't press hard any harder than you have to. Keep the position that you have. Aria's going to drop outside the top 5. Gives it up to Kason. But there's a line right underneath that. Here comes DM. Try to take it away that spot. Dreamer's still in the picture inside the top 10 despite getting in the wall earlier. You can get on the wall and you can still have a good race here because it doesn't. You can have a beat up car and you can still finish good here as long as your car's running. Top 2 separated by less than 0.2 of a second that time by. Noriboshi trying to hang on to second here. 55 laps in the books. Lumi, though, right behind. They are trying to get their lap back here. They can either get it back by racing up front and passing the leader, or get a caution here. 56 laps in the books, and we haven't had any caution incidents so far. Although I'm jinxing it. I know I am. It's Bristol. This race is not going to be clean. 325 laps. Here comes Noriboshi back to the inside. Try to lead another lap. If Noriboshi now could lead the most amount of laps, that could probably be the best bet for this 94 team in order to get back in the points battle here. Callie tried to tightly pinch the 94, but that's going to cost her more than just second. Here comes Lumi down underneath. That's going to bring Fifi up for second. Well, maybe not. Lumi has some problems keeping that inside line going. Just got to keep an eye on this backstretch here. That's where we've seen a lot of incidents. We've seen one incident going into turn 1, but it's mostly been the backstretch. That's where calamity is. Fifi can get underneath that 64. That'll really hurt this 94's chances of leading a lot of laps. Because Fifi's been really fast today. Despite being in the back of the field, she has climbed up to second. Merriweather in this picture as well. Side by side with Callie and DM on the outside. A couple trains there going on. Callie slides up a little bit higher. Trying to get that run off that high side, which is hard to do at this track. This is back for 7th spot. This is back with 7th spot, I should say. This is for 6th. DJ Overdrive in the 12, another driver in the top 5 in points, looking to have a good day today. And with the way that the 24 car has dropped outside the top 10, that's exactly what these guys in the top 5 in points want to see. There is the 24, by the way. Oh my goodness, Nana and Melody going on the exit of turn. I've seen the moves being made in the entries of these corners. I've never seen a move being made on the exit of the corners. That's exactly what I just saw there. Callie almost hitting the wall on the outside there. Going in a turn, or going into the backstretch. Devious Sprite up in the picture as well. Almost top 10. Kelso was up there in the top 3, battling for the race lead. He's back to 8th, again battling with the 73. He was right on his bumper. My goodness. That checks up to 73 a lot. I don't think she expected that check by the 47. Now Lumi's up to the 94. If the 64 can pass the 94, she'll be back on the lead lap. Just very much the tail end. Which, while Nori does not really mind that part, I think if I were the 94, I would still try and make sure that 64 does not get underneath. Because Fifi is all over that back bumper, and as soon as Lumi gets underneath that 94, Fifi will be right there to follow. And I don't know if Lumi is trying to be aggressive because this 53 is literally right there on that bumper, or if she really wants to get that lap back. Maybe both. I'm going to say both, because I nearly just saw another incident with that 64. "68 laps in the books." Or sorry, 69 laps in the books. I was looking at the 64, who's 1 lap down. Speaking of that, here comes the 64 underneath. Not side by side for the lead, but Noriboshi on the high side. And she's not going to give it... Oh, she's going to give it up a little too late. Here comes Fifi, race lead. Noriboshi's going to hang on, cross the line, but it might not be much of a fight here. From the 94. There we go. Oh, the 53 had a bad exit. But it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, you can have a bad exit, but you can easily make up for it going into the next corner. Because the straights are very short. Like I said, everybody's running 3rd gear around this track. That's how short this track is. You don't need 4th gear. Lumi's back on the lead lap, just ahead of these cars. Actually, is going to pull away a little bit from the guys behind, guys and gals, because of how much they're tightly battling. Merriweather up to 2nd. Nori's going to fall back behind the top 5. It's going to lose another spot to DJ Overdrive. And they're battling tight. A lot of these drivers at the top in this pack right now are up in the points battle. The 24 of Aria is still back in 11th, not really making any moves happen. Not too aggressive right now is that 24, but that might be a strategy call. They are usually up front near the end of the race, and that's why they're the points leader. Doesn't matter if you're the back of the field at the beginning of the race or the middle part. It only matters where you are at in the final 20 laps. This is just outside the top 10. That's where Noriboshi's fallen back to. Just inside the top 10. Now going to probably fall out of it. Oof. Pebble almost getting into the corner of the 94. And now Sprite moves inside the top 10. Now the battle between the top two in points. I mean, it's not much of a contest there. It goes to 24. And at this moment in time, the 24 now can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that they have a points gain, net gain so far in this race. It is another like 10 to 12 points between second and third in points, so as long as the top two in points don't actually finish like back in the deep of the 20s, then they should be fine. They will be fine. Even if they don't finish inside the top 10 today. Top 5 separated by less than a second. And then it's a little bit of a gap behind them. It's Fifi who leads, Merriweather at second, Kason third, Tyroki at fourth, and Dreamer inside the top 5. Again, the 89 hit the wall twice not too long ago. Front row's up in tightly behind a... Oh, good lord, maybe a bit too tight. Good lord, contact. That's Philly into the 78 on the high side of the 52 in the middle, with Bell in the 69 right underneath. And the front row has fallen outside the top 20. Fu in 22nd, Lumen 23rd. What a difference a short track makes. 82 in the book in terms of laps. Or actually 81. Nope, 82. It did not want to update at all. Working lap 82. And Merriweather's going to try. Merriweather is in the points battle, despite way back behind the points leader. Lap lead here will definitely ease the pain of being back so far. Top 2 in points have led a lap. Merriweather's going to try and do the same. Because again, that is 1 bonus point. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but with our points format, it is everything. It's going to be the difference between championship and third place. More than likely. Oh, what a tight block by Merriweather. He leads lap 85. They're side by side tightly. There's Lumen all the way back in turn, back past the line. This is the battle back here for 35th, and there's a lot of drivers still having a struggle here. Starting in the back, and they're still in the back. They still haven't had a pit stop yet, so it's all going to come with within the next couple laps, I would assume. They've ran 86 laps. Green so far. Pit stop should be coming up here soon. Green flag, maybe yellow flag pit stops. I don't know yet. But I do know that that is coming up soon. Kason underneath for the race lead. They are tight. The top 4 are like on each other. That might be the tightest I've seen in a long time. I don't know how this is going to work with how the tires have been worn out. Kason to the race lead. Tyroki to second. Dreamer battling for third. And top 2 tight on each other's tails here. Merriweather still struggling on that high side line. Ugh, almost in the wall. Oh, here comes Callie. Oh, Callie, Jesus, again, really aggressive on that underside of the recipient. It was Kyoso not so long ago. Now it's Overdrive that gets a little oh, Merriweather. Oh my goodness. A little bit of damage there to the 60 car. He hits the wall. In return, oh my god. They're so close together. That scares me to see that. They're getting tight. Noriboshi on the wall. She's losing many spots. Still losing spots. That's not what the 94 wants to see. But that is what the 24 wants to see. Single file through most of the top 20. Nana stuck on that high side underneath, or above, I should say, William. And that is for, I would say, 15th, 16th spot? 15th. Noriboshi probably going to fall outside the top 20. Watson and Amelia started next to each other, and they are next to each other still. Top 3 close to each other right now, only separated by 0.3 of a second. It's Kason, Tyroki, and Dreamer. Here comes Tyroki for the race lead. Very tight, side by side at the line. It'll be Kason, I think. Yeah, if that was the finish, that would be closer than Fuji Speedway. Dreamer right on the tail of the 41, trying to push, but that is hurting the 41. Can't get the run off the corner. And now look at this line of cars right behind them. It was just 3 cars, and now double it and give it to the next guy. Or gal. Still right on each other's tails for the race lead. Tyroki cannot get the run off the corners here. That's really hurting them and the cars behind. Again, can't get the run off the corner. Kason still leads. Can he get it this time? No, he cannot. Kason hanging on the outside and clears the 41. How the hell did that happen? The tires must be really worn out. Dreamer second. Sprite inside the top 10. Now up to 7th. Overdrive now losing several spots. Aria up to 8th. They are side by side, double file through most of the top 10. Side by side for the lead. Here comes Dreamer underneath. Haven't seen much from him all season long when it comes up front. Kason strong on that outside. I don't know if it's the inside giving out or if it's Kason on the high side being stronger than any other. I don't know. Either way, that is a strong 32 car. A Dreamer has the lead. He has the bonus point at least. The 24 up in the top 5. So is Sprite. And Merriweather's going to fall outside the top 5. Here comes Kyoso to second. Slides up, opening the gap for Sprite to take advantage. Doesn't, and closes up that gap. Does Kyoso go for the race lead here? I mean, I assume so. We're 100 laps into this race. We are about maybe 40 minutes into this recording. Oh, Sprite. Oh, boy. Here we go. Race lead. That was close. That was close. Kason almost in the wall. Still green. 100 laps in this race. All green. Despite having 2 cars spin out earlier in this race. But that's fine. Here comes Sprite. Whoa! Sprite looked to stay inside, but Kyoso checked up way too early. And Sprite's going to lose 3rd to the points leader, who's looking underneath at a turn 3. Kyoso, can he clear off a... No, not yet. Oh, they're pitting. 100 laps in and we're pitting. Got pit stops. Kyoso leads them in. Everybody's coming in. 3 wide's crunching in. Everybody. 4 wide. Oh, Henya with real massive front end damage to the 30 car. And a little bit of, rear end damage by the 3. I think I could connect the 2 dots here. I want to see when this happened. Oh, it just happened. Just happened. Simu and Henya are tight on each other. Oh, wow! Oh! Well, everybody wanted to come into the pits. Not a single soul wanted to stay out, and this is the result of that. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lumi! How did she get involved? One last look here. So we have Weebu, Kobo, Hano, Henya, Sole. Oh my god. Lumi, Doki Bird. Oh, and another shot there. As Hano's trying to get an advantage here going into the pits. Pit stops are happening. And again, no caution. Mostly because that was a result of everybody coming into the pits on the apron. And everybody got it all settled out. But there's Kyoso. He is the race leader coming into the pits. But this is rare to see literally everybody coming into the pits here. Fu's coming in. There's Lumen. Top 2 that qualified. Ooh, little contact there, I think. Kyoso's going to lead them out. And he's going to have a gap. Ooh, little side damage there, too. And there goes Kyoso. Behind is Sprite. Bimble, Merriweather. Whoa, Lucky! Hey, hey! Talk about drifting. The field has been shapeshifted. Kyoso's going to lap a lot of these cars. Kelso may lap a lot of these cars because of how short this track is. Can easily lose more than one spot or one lap. I think that side damage on the 47 is just mostly cosmetic. I would hope so. David just up ahead of the 47, but he is in 15th spot, so everybody from 16th on back is a lap down now. Sprite's in second, Bimble in the 9 is in third, Merriweather in 4th, and Risu up to 5th. Good stop by the 2. A lot of cars had some solid stops. Where is the 24? 20. Oh my god. Star fell to 25th. A lot of cars had some good pit stops at the expense of a lot more. Wow. Enya's 18th. Everybody that was involved in that little chaos, to call it as it is, looks like everybody got the damage repaired and all is good in the neighborhood. But yeah, the 24, our points leader, comes out. She came in 3rd, by the way, and comes out 25th. I don't know what happened. There's something that happened. Something happened. Between all that's transponded, I am pretty certain with all those cars, that traffic jam might have been comparable to Los Angeles. 113 laps will be in the books here when we cross the line. Kyoso has a 1.5-second gap to Sprite in second. And only 15 cars are on the lead lap, with the final one being David, who's on the verge of going 1 lap down. Although I don't know if the 47 is just taking it easy on David, considering he has about a 1.5-second gap. Doesn't really have to push any issues here. Might be able to save some tires if he ends up not wanting to make a move happen. But it depends on, as well as if David is aggressive or not, because Sole is just ahead of him, and I don't think he wants to go 1 lap down. Everybody's single file throughout the whole field here, so not really much in terms of side-by-side battles to talk about. But the gap is not really dwindling down between the top 2. Like I said, it is another 3 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. So again, the top 2 not really having to push many issues here. Unlike, you know, just or just a couple laps ago before the pit stops. So we could safely say that every 100 laps or so that these drivers could pit. So you're looking at 2 or 3 stops. Well, 3 stops, rather. 2 more stops you're looking at. If this race goes green, which, again, I doubt. We saw some close calls, and I doubt that's the last time we'll see him. Now, Kyoso does, again, have some side damage, but that's not really hindering him by any means. I think he got that from having a little... I want to just maybe assume he had some struggles to get both in and out of the box, and that might have been one of the reasons why. David gains a little bit of a gap. Either that or Kyoso's laying back just a little bit. I wouldn't expect him to lay back too much, but at the same time, Sprite's got it down to less than a second. There are 2 lap cars right behind Kyoso, though. That's Kobo and Dreamer. Yeah, Dreamer, who just was battling inside the top 5. He's back in 17th right now, 1 lap down. Still not as bad as what we saw with our points leader, who is, I think, still 25th. Yeah, still in 25th. There are several... Actually, Dreamer's 2 laps down, so he's 32nd. My bad. I thought Dreamer was 1 lap down. No, he is 2. And Soleil's already 1 lap down, so... Yeah, only 15 cars on lead lap. David is the last one on the lead lap. And Kyoso's getting taken to the high side by the cars that are either 1 or 2 down. Here comes Sprite, and this is for the race lead, and Sprite's going to lead the lap. Henya's just behind, but again, Henya is not on the lead lap. In fact, she's... Oh, Kyoso in the wall. Henya's back on the lead lap. Kyoso's crossing over the 90, and just like that, Kyoso back to the race lead. Keep in mind, he just hit the wall, too. He just bounced off the wall, and he managed to somehow get enough of a run to make that move in turn 3. Yeah, all right. Bristol, baby. Kyoso to the lead. Fruit behind, not for the race, not battling with them, just trying to get the lap back. So now we're 17 cars on the lead lap. And if Fruit passes the 47, that is 18. And she's trying. Tyroki's back in the picture, and he is battling for the race lead. Here comes... Oh, no, he's not. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm so used to Tyroki being up front today that I was expecting him to be third, but no, it's Bimble. Remember that. 2.5 back now. There goes Kyoso up the track, side by side for the race lead with Sprite. Sprite's going to clear. Here comes Bimble. Oh, wait, here comes Kyoso on the high side. Tightly battling. Oh, Kyoso with a good run on the exit. On that high side. Here comes Bimble, though. He is third. Tyroki in the middle of a sandwich he does not want to be in. Kyoso way up the racetrack, and now the battle for second rages on. There's Bimble underneath, looking for second, maybe even the race lead, as Sprite was taken to the high side. Whoa! Little tight battle there between the 90 and the 41, trying to keep that 41 1 lap down. Kyoso hangs on to second. Weebu right behind the 9. Oh, maybe a little too tight behind the 9. Weebu is 1 lap down. He is the next car 1 lap down. We're up to 18 cars on the lead lap now, so we're slowly gaining a little bit more. A little bit more as we go on. You look at the ticker here, there's 4 drivers 2 laps down. Tyroki is now the last car 1 lap down. Fifi is 2 laps down. The front row in qualifying between Fu and Lumid, they are the last two. They started first and second. They are 36th, 37th right now. That is... Wow. All right. Kyoso back to the race lead. Top 3 are right on each other's tail here. Kyoso back to the race lead. Battle for second behind. Merryweather's starting to close in on them. With Doki Bird and Fifi in tow, but not for position. These two are not for position. Fifi's 2 laps down. Next car for position is Risu in the 2. About a couple cars back. Bimble underneath, looking for the race lead. Weebu. Is Weebu going to take him 3 wide? With a run that she just had? I was expecting it. But they hang on, and now make the move underneath. Bimble with a lap lead in the bank. And Weebu's going to get her lap back. Maybe. Oh, my goodness. Now the whole top 5 has shape-shifted. Here comes Merryweather. I don't know what's been going on with the cars that were... I don't know what's been going on with Kyoso and Sprite. Those two, they are not much of a factor in this... Oh, Fifi and Sprite both collide in the wall. Not together, but separately. Merryweather back to the race lead. Risu to second. Doki Bird looking for the lap, getting back on the lead lap. And oh my goodness, Risu really wants to get back on the race in the race lead. Lucky's right behind, but also not on the lead lap. We have 20 cars back on the lead lap now, with Doki Bird being the last car. 3 wide. Ooh, they're getting tied. There goes the 64 and the 9. And that's a caution. Oh, they're still stacking up. Oh, he's good. Oh, he's not. Oh, they're good. Still some contact. Caution's out. Whew, let's get another look. I don't know if that was the cause of the caution because of how tight everything was, but it might as well been. Get a quick wrap around the track. Everybody's tight on each other. That looks like it. Nobody really got turned around, though. I'm surprised that was a caution. But yeah. Tie with DM. Oh my god. I don't think that should have been a caution, but I guess at the same time too, that almost resulted in one too. Oh my goodness. Iron Mouse, our points leader. They're still stacking up here. They're still stacking up. Oh, Belle gets turned around. She's alright though. 21 cars back on the lead lap with the 6 of Lucky getting back into the frame of things here. Kyoso's going into the pits. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. That car does look to be... And Kaison's another one coming in too. Kyoso did have a little bit of some contact on the wall there. A couple of the cars that just got back on the lead lap, including Vtuberen and Weeboo, they are coming into the pits as well. We'll probably get 2 more pace laps, if not 3 more pace laps around here, and we'll get back going here. A couple of the cars that are a lap down or more, they're coming in this time, so that's why we aren't going green this time by. A lot of the cars that are 1 lap down are coming into the pits, which I guess I'm not too surprised. A lot of the leaders stayed out, so if you're a lap down, might as well. They're not really battling for any position, so you might as well go back and see what you can do back there with fresh tires. You're going to have fresh tires. It's going to be an advantage no matter what. So when we restart, we'll have about 145 completed, maybe more, maybe less. Not too sure yet. We'll find out when we get it going. With Psyche Risu. Why did my chair do that? I don't know. Psyche Risu in first. Merryweather in second. Sprites climbed back up to third. DM in fourth. Lumi's the first car. Again, 1 lap down in 22nd. William in 5th, Melody in 23rd, Bimble saved it and still managed to stay in 6th. Iron Mouse in 7th, Watson in 8th, Gura in 9th, Nana in 10th, D in 11th, Bell in 12th, David up to 13th after getting spun on the first couple of laps. Good recovery there by the 77. Kobo in 14th, Henya 15th, Fruit in 16th, Kyoso back to 17th. He's the first car that pitted. 18th is Kason. 19th is Doki Bird. Weeboo is 20th. And then back to 24th is Hano Mizuki. Callie is 37th right now. 2 laps down, 2 laps down. Wow. She led a lot of laps once Lumen got filed back. DT Overdrive in 25th. Bow in 26th. Sim in 27th. Soleil in 28th. Dreamer 29th. Tyroki, wow. Our points leaders back at 31st. Noriboshi 33rd. And green flags back in the air. What a points day this would be for everybody third on back. And it's not taking long for these drivers to get back going in their battle modes. They were tight. Risu hangs on to the race lead. Starts a bit of a gap there. Lumen has some rear end damage from that wreck. I'm surprised she did not pit. Her rear end's a little jacked up. Couple cars in the pits, actually. Who's in the pits at this moment? 37 has some front end damage. Lucky and Fillion are in the pits. Damn. They'll go multiple down. Williams up to 5th. Yeah, DM has some front-end damage. I don't know what that was. Soleil falls back to... Well, actually just falls back to 30th. There's those 2 coming out of the pits. Risu has a bit of a gap here to 2nd place. Might even have some help here. Never mind. Lucky was going to file out ahead of one or the other, but they don't. Instead, she's going to file out in between Sprite and William. So now if William wants to get up to 4th place, he has to go through 2 cars instead of 1. Second place battle might be heating up here momentarily. DM's climbing up. Getting closer and closer to that 60 car. Yeah, I don't know if anybody was expecting these cars to be clean once they once this race got going, because I don't think there's a single car on track that could be considered clean. Almost every driver I have seen has hit the wall or hit somebody. Bit of a gap between first and second. Well, that battle for second is kind of heating up, but that's what Risu wants to see if that does end up becoming true. A tight battle for second place means that the two can pull away just slightly more. As we're working lap 153, it is 0.8 of a second between first and second. Working lap 154 now, and the gap still is maintained at 0.8 of a second. Nope, never mind, didn't update. My bad. 0.6 of a second. So a bit of a decrease in the gap between first and second. Still, nonetheless, Risu trying to hang on and lead a dominant performance here, but we've seen some dominant performances already between Lumen and Callie, but both of those cars, both of them are 2 laps down now. Lumen back in 33rd, Callie back in 32nd. Lucky and Fillion both lose more than 2 laps. Lucky down 3, Fillion down 4. But that's what is to be expected here at Bristol. If you pit, you are going to lose more than just 1 or 2 laps. If you can get a caution, that's your savior right there. There's some side-by-side battling back there for 6th on back. Bimble, Iron Mouse, Gura. And speaking of Lumen, there he is. He's up front, but he's just not able to make any passes go on right now. He's going to need multiple cautions. This is a very interesting battle right back here in 35th, 36th. I think that might be the only time I'll ever say that. Oh, I don't really think so. Well, now that I think about it, Noriboshi's not on the same lap as the 24, so never mind. Yeah, Starlight is sitting 27th right now, whereas Noriboshi is sitting 34th, 2 laps down. Oof. That's a very big oof moment right there. 6-car Lucky's trying to get one of those laps back the old-fashioned way. Actually, several cars. I just mentioned Lucky and Fillion being multiple down. They're actually not anymore. Never mind. That is the one thing about this track that I'm not a big fan of. There is a little bit of... I don't know if it's just me, but this track does have some scoring problems. Sometimes some drivers will be several laps down, and sometimes they won't be. I don't know. Luckily, it hasn't affected the actual, lead lap racing. Although that is the first time I've seen it happen in this race. But then again, it's the only time I've ever seen these cars laps down. There's a massive gap between 4th and 5th place, by the way. 5th place is William. And, oh my goodness, Sprite. Well, that gap may dwindle down just a little bit. There's more than 2 seconds separating 4th and 5th place. This is the closest battle up front. That's between Merriweather and DM. Then you got these 3 battling each other. Although not for position. Sprite's in 4th, but she really wants to hang on to being right in front of the oh my god, contact between the 6 and 90. Fifi way up the racetrack going into turn 1 there. A lot of tight single file racing here. Lucky again, way down the track. Very tight between the 90 and the 6, despite them not being on the same lap. Still the 2-car leads. We're down 169 laps. Or right about. Merriweather's closing the gap a little bit. Come back to that momentarily. Well, might be some 3 wide racing back here. There is 3 wide racing going on back here. I don't think this is going to end well. It does. Hennick gives up multiple track positions right there. I don't know if all of them were for position or not. I guess so. Doki Bird was for position. In the end, I think that was just one spot that they ended up losing. 24 way up the racetrack. But then again, they are not on the lead lap. Right now, it's a bit of a struggle here between the top 2 in points. I did mention a little bit about how it would... Oh my goodness gracious. The 17. I don't know if anybody saw that or felt that. But the 17 bottomed out and slid way up the racetrack. And I thought we were going to see a wreck. Anyways, as I was continuing on... Oh, Henya's on the wall. Hold on a second. Ah, she's good. It's been a struggle so far by the top 2 in points. Starlight in 28th, struggling to make anything happen. Then you got Noriboshi another lap down. In fact, the 24, I think, got in the wall. There's side damage. Noriboshi sitting 33rd. And Starlight is sitting 28th. I mentioned how the 24 and the 94 being up front was very major for their points battle. And I was... In that conversation, I was talking about how 3rd place can get back up in the points battle if the top 2 in points decide to just have a complete meltdown of a race. I didn't mean to play spoiler, but right at this very moment, that's exactly what's going on right now. 28th and 33rd, I think it was. Yeah. Right, that's how the top 2 in points are at. That's where they're at right now in track position. 3rd place in points. They're battling for the race lead. What a shift in points that would we're not even we're barely halfway through this race. We are barely halfway through this race. There's still a long ways to go. And with how things change at Bristol, we saw it earlier with the pit stops and the caution. They change everything in a snap of a finger! Sprite's way up the track. Contact between her and the 6 of Lucky. Out of all that, she does not lose a single spot, though. But she does lose a lot of track position. Here goes Melody underneath the 37. Trying to get that lap back. And so is Lucky. Big block by the 60. And I mean big block. Ooh. Big push by the 36. Here comes Merriweather once again. Can he get the push by the 36 into turn 3? He does. Contact. It's all good. Just jack the rear bumper up. Just jacking the rear bumper up. Just checking that rear bumper up on the 60, trying to get him going. What is Melody thinking? Whoa, Melody to the inside of Merriweather. Oh, she's going to take up 3 wide. Sprite now up to 2nd. Just when you think the 90 car is out of the picture, she gets back in it. Williams in the picture too. 3 wide, contact, and around goes DM! Down the backstretch, into the 52, into the 64. They're wrecking and spinning in turn 3. Caution's out. Good save by the 52. Everybody slows down. And caution's out. Second of the day. Good save by the 52. Yeah, everybody slowed up once that wreck started happening. Look at the chaos that would have started if that were to happen. Wow. DM, Lucky, and Merriweather 3 wide for, not all for position, but close enough. Watch the 52, bam, right into her. And then gets turned just slightly by the 64, but saves it. Nice little drift by the 52. I don't think they lost any positions anyways, so there you go. Slide to win it. It wasn't a big slide by the 52, but still a good enough slide to still warrant a nice little highlight reel there. That was good. That was good. Caution's out. 185 laps in. That's our second of the day. That was nearly catastrophe for Merriweather. Let's not forget that. Merriweather was just right on the verge of joining both Starlight and Noriboshi as being title contenders being sent to the rear of the field. Pit stops are happening, and a lot of the front runners are coming in. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep an eye on the rest of the field as everybody comes into the pits. Lap cars will not come in. And while this is going on, you won't see any action going on, but let me just quickly read up on the points here. Actually, third place in points is Bell. I forgot because of the amazing run by Bell. My apologies. They're still in the top 10, though. Although, that might change as pit stops occur. Melody was the free pass recipient on that last caution, so she'll be back on the lead lap. I think Lucky will be the first one on the lap down. Yeah, everybody's coming down. Not a single soul staying out. Everybody from a lap down and on the lead lap, they are all in. I do apologize on that storyline. I really thought it was Merriweather in third place at points, but I forgot. He's been dropping like a fly lately. Although the next couple cars that you will see in points are Soleil and Soleil. Let me actually look one more time. Soleil and William. William's up front, but Soleil's also been struggling. So a lot of cars in the running for the points, they are struggling. After pit stops have all settled out, it's Fruit who takes the race to lead. I think a two-tire stop by the 84. Risu comes out in second, Sprite in third, William in fourth, Merriweather fifth, Iron Mouse in sixth, Nana in seventh, Gura in eighth, D in ninth, and third place in points, Bell in 10th. Kobo in 11th, Doki Bird 12th, Kyoso 21st. He is the first car one lap down. Watson in 13th. And let's go Henya 14th, David in 15th, DM falls to 16th, and the rest of the field on back is shown. Soleil 25th, Starlight 30th, and Noriboshi 36th. The 37th being Fu. Just a not so good day by the front row here. That front row starting spots here today. That's why I didn't really care much about. I don't really care much about qualifying. It's not a matter where you start. It's where you finish. Race cars in. 189 laps will be completed when we get the green flag to go back racing. Good jump by the two. Arisu. It immediately. Oh, look to the inside. I thought they were going to go inside. They don't go on the inside this time, but they will in this corner. Fruit led all of 0 green flag laps. And now back to the point is the 2 car. The 84 tried to do a 2-tire stop. You know how I can tell? Because there's no other way you can gain that many spots taking 4 tires. I'm just saying. Everybody took 4. There's no way the 84 did not. That would have to be a godly pit stop by that crew. Because Fruit was sitting way back in the field. I mean, way back in the field. And yeah, if you could tell, that's a 2-tire stop by the 84 compared to everybody else's 4-tire stop. She is not having a good time right now. That is not a good stop by the 84. I don't know who the crew chief is, but yeah, not a good call. Not a good call. They are now outside the top 10. But that pass from Doki Bird. They're 3 wide behind. Again with DM in that. DM just loves going 3 wide, doesn't she? Don't take that any other way. Fruit falls outside the top 10. Sprite's looking to take back the race lead. Here we go again. William's going to come back up into the picture now. Especially since Sprite cannot get the run off the corner. Here comes William. For second. Merriweather's also up in the picture too. He's underneath Risu for the 3rd spot. Risu way up the racetrack. It's going to open up the door for Iron Mouse to get inside the top 4. Early in 5th. Nana, Talladega winner, sitting in 6th. Trying to improve. Get up to 5th. Now Bell can start climbing up in the picture here. They'll have a good opportunity here to get out of this race with the points lead. They have not led a lap here today, which is a saving grace between that 24 and the 94. That is a saving grace. Oh, as Risu hits the wall. Saving grace for the top 2 in points is that they both led a lap here so far today. Oh, Fruit. A bump. And run by the 420. It took a corner, but it was a bump and run. Got shunted out of the way. Bow almost in the wall in the very back of that, in the very background. Tell you what, I've seen Bristol moves being made here in this race. This is definitely a Bristol race if I have ever seen one. Points leader up to 29th. Noriboshi up to 35th. I don't know if that's really meaning anything or not, but hey, a position gain is a damage control position gain. Where did Risu fall to? 8th. Okay. So Risu led a lot of laps and falls to 8th. William getting a shove by Merriweather. Take the race lead back. Might be the first time he's been up front in the lead. A good shove by Merriweather, who's going to immediately try to take back the race lead. Keep in mind, he almost got involved in a big wreck just a couple minutes ago. Ooh, a good run by William on the outside. That's going to bring Iron Mouse back into the picture. So is Nana. First time we're seeing those two up in the top 3. Or top 5, rather. Oh, Nana with a big shove on the 22 moves her to the high side, and now there's 3 rows of 2. Still side by side for the lead. Still side by side for the lead. William hanging strong on that high side. That is, though, going to really hurt him on the long run, because here comes that train. There's a train underneath. And it is not looking good for the 10. It is not looking good for these 3 that are 3 wide right now. My goodness. They make it work. You can't really make 3 wide happen here at this track, unlike most, if not all, the other tracks we go to in this series. If you are 3 wide, you need to give it up. Somebody does. You can't make that work. Especially since we barely see 2 wide work here. Nana leads lap 208. They are tight in the 1 here. The 87's is on the lead lap, so D is in contention. What's my computer doing? D is in contention to go from last to first. He has officially gone last to first in this race. But can he finish that? Here comes Bell. He's up to second. Can he lead a lap? Can they lead a lap? I'm sorry. Here they come. The top 2 in points have led a lap today, and so has 3rd place. Officially 3rd place. I should also mention, too, that coming into this race, third on back, we're really tight on each other's tails. So, at one point, Merriweather may have been third place in points. That's not the case anymore. Risu's climbed back up to second after falling to 8th. So, they are 4 wide. They are 4 wide, and I don't think they know. Now they do. Now they do know because they took it back double file. That was Iron Mouse, Nana, Merriweather, and David. They were... You could barely see it, but they were 4 wide. They were 4 wide. Oh, DM and Lucky get into it again! And DM is again wrecked on the backstretch. Caution is out. Oh! DJ and Case on wreck after the line. What happened there? Oh, Merriweather hit the wall. Oh, what in the world? Oh, that was okay. This was okay. So you have DM and Lucky take each other, again, take each other out in the backstretch. Bam! There's DM. And then, because of this, Lumi slides up into the 60, and then bam, 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 and crash. Mayhem. Ladies and gentlemen, the domino effect. What starts off as 1 wreck turns into more. Welcome to Bristol. That is the 2nd wreck in a row that DM has been involved in. If this was any other track, that 37 would be screwed. There goes Kyoso. He's back on the lead lap. I think that's 22, 21, 20 cars back on the lead lap. By the way, Lucky did all that while 2 laps down in 31st. When we cross the line, we will have 110 laps to go. I've been lucky enough to catch most of the causes of caution. Normally, I am not good at that. Doesn't look like anybody inside the top 10 is pitting, so we'll quickly run through the field here before we get this restart. Bell hangs on to first. Risu, though, back to second. Kobo in third. Sprite up to 4th. Doki Bird, who was, if I remember correctly, like multiple laps down, maybe 1 down after the green flag pit stops. Back up to 5th. D to 6th. Iron Mouse 7th. David, who has struggled all first half of this race. A couple pit stops later, he's up to 8th. Nana back to 9th. Case on the first car with major damage on the side. 10th. 11th is Merriweather. 12th is Henya. 13th is William. Several cars later, you'll find 14th place of Amelia. 15th place of Weebu. 16th, Melody. 17th is Gura. 18th is DM, and the rest on back, laps down. 19th is Fruit, and 20th will go to Kyoso. Looks like Fruit might have been the only car to hit the pits, if anybody, because Kyoso restarts on the tail end due to being the lucky dog, and Fruit had to pass him doing that. So with that in mind, 217 in the book, green flags back in the air. Oh, Bristol move by Kobo, trying to take second away from Risu. They didn't take long. They bunch up, and they will double file up. It doesn't matter. Risu struggles on the first lap on the restart. Falls outside the top 5. They are still struggling to get anything going on that 2 car there. Somebody's in the pits, and that is... If I can click back fast enough. Major damage. I think DM. I saw major damage. I think that was DM. Yeah, it's DM. I think they were gonna... If I had to take a guess, DM was gonna try and see if they could run with that damage. They find out the hard way. They cannot. Normally you can, but I'm just saying, that was a hard shot of that inside wall. A hard shot, which does not pertain to any sort of safety precautions that you normally see at a NASCAR track. Other than a concrete wall, which, yeah, that's saying nothing. So DM's going to fall back several laps. Kobo still hangs on to second. I haven't seen much out of them ever since the first half of this race. And they come to the inside, looking for the race lead. 69 comes after 70, but 70's trying to make it the opposite. Okay, 70 comes after 69. I don't know if I said that right the first time. I don't know. I am not really sober at this moment. Sprite hanging on behind. Trying to push that 70 car, but I don't know why they keep doing that. They keep jacking up the rear bumper of the car ahead of them, and that's causing them to not have a good exit. Either that, it's because of that, and you got the car on the outside trying to pinch defensively. Eventually, it's going to cause some chaos. We already saw it, but it was like not as much chaos as before. Somebody's going to pinch, and they're going to get, and it's going to be more than just a pinch in contact. It's going to be a pinch in big wreck. Little slide up there by Kobo to try and move up that 69 up the track. They're still battling side by side. Doki Bird to 4th. David inside the top 5. First time all day. Ooh, that was close. Bell wanted that inside line, but just like earlier, Sprite went into the corner a little too shallow compared to the 69. Oh, David, look out. Okay, that was close. There was contact, and I thought there was going to be more than just contact between him and the 3. Bell slides up, loses a couple spots. And now Sprite's the 2nd still. Doki Bird gains a spot to 4th. 3rd, actually. Sorry. 3rd. And David's now 4th. This thing doesn't update quick enough for me to, like, quickly read. Oh, D in the wall. Back in 15th spot. Back outside the top 10. Sprite back to the race lead. Big charging move in turn 3. Speaking of 3, here comes the 3. 2nd place. Good run into 1. Got a semi-good run off 2. Now into turns 3. Here comes the 3. Can't really get a good run here. Oof. David a 3rd. Everybody gains up a spot as Kobo falls back. Top 4 right on each other. No more than the 3 and the 77. They're on it. Here comes the 3. Good run. Making that aggressive move. Letting that 90 know they're coming for the lead. They ain't trying to ride back. Seen a lot of passes for the lead here for a Bristol race. No one's content. That's a good thing here in this series. I mean, especially because, too, the top 2 in points, they are struggling today. This is a points day if I've ever seen one. I don't think they're ever going to see this kind of race again where the 24 and the 94, the top 2 in points, they're struggling. They're back behind deep in the 20s. 24 car sits in 16th, actually, back on the lead lap. So, never mind. Looks like the 24 back on the lead lap. The 94 is still 2 laps down, though, in 31st. Comes Doki Bird to the inside. I can't make that pass happen. David, oh my god, David! Turns the 3! Keeps it straight! Into the 2! The 85 goes around, and the 3, they all pile up, and it's a big one here at Bristol. Caisson's beached on the apron. Between the banking on the apron and turns 3, 32 is, well, for a lack of a better term, stuck. Wow. I knew that was going to be chaos. I knew from that, I knew at some point it was going to get too chaotic. A little too close for comfort there between Doki Bird and David. We'll see it again here. Slow motion. Go slow motion. I think the 3 got loose. Ooh, hold on. I want to look at this one more time. Hold on. This angle's a pretty good angle here. I don't know if there was a lot of contact here. The 77's definitely on the bumper. But one look at this angle here, you'll see the 3 on the exit just tail whips it out a little bit. And I think because of that, David gets a little too close to that bumper. Look one more time here. I guess this is the only good angle, right? Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, the 3 is definitely loose in some capacity. And then the 77 finishes them off. Boom! Right into the wall. Bird tries to save it, comes right back into the 2 car and into the 85, spinning them both out. Risu with heavy front end damage. And then here comes the rest of the field as they drift as the two sideways cars slide down the banking. Henya gets a piece of it. We'll see the chaos happen here. Good on everybody for mostly missing the wreck. Bird and Kason, for the most part, are the ones that are stuck. I mean, again, the banking is such an extreme part of the track here that you can be fine. But if you get between the track and the apron like this, you're stuck. And you only have one option left. And that is to tow. Caution's out. That'll more than likely take those 2 cars out of the race completely there. Both the 3 and the 32. That'll take them both out of the race for now. So right now, the only one that's having a massive struggle right now is that 94 at Noriboshi. Noriboshi sitting multiple laps down, and but 24 cars sitting somewhat peacefully inside the top 10. Or, sorry, top 20, where everybody's on the lap. Looks like Fruit will maintain the race lead here. Staying out once again. Oh, nope, she's going into the pits. Fruit was going to maintain the race lead, but because of that, DM's going to get waved around, and so she'll get one of her laps back. Currently sitting 2 laps down. Actually, it might be one or 2 down. Not too sure. And after pit stops, it'll be David who will retain the race lead. We'll go through the rest of the field here once we get the field updated. This time by as pit stops conclude. At this point, everybody should be good to make it the rest of the way on fuel and tires. David first, Sprite in second, Bell in third, Merriweather in fourth, and William, if I can get that name out of my mouth, will round out the top 5. Kobo in 6th, Melody in 7th, Nana with some rear end damage, but sticking it out like a warrior in 8th, although I think they got some of that damage repaired. They did pit. Watson in 9th, Risu in 10th, with some damage repair there. And then got Starlight back in 11th, back on the lead lap. Heck yeah. Henya 12th, D in 13th, 14th is Bao, and 15th is, Jesus Christ, where is 15th? Fruit? Yeah. Green flag. Good jump by the 77. Good jump by the 77. It caught me off guard, too. If I was a 90 car, I would have definitely been caught lacking. 243 down. Risu in the wall. Lumen's back in the pits. Keeping the ticker off for just a moment here. Because it does cover up a majority of the track, and it's kind of hard to see some of this battles. Sprite side by side for the race lead, trying to take it away. Can they hang on? They clear off. They clear up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, contact. 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 Down the track goes Sprite and back up into the 69. Quick receipt given by the 90 to the 69. Lumen's back on track. Just in front of the leaders. Oh my god! Literally in front of the leaders. I don't think anybody saw that coming. They're 3 wide. They are 3 wide. They're tight. They're tight going into 3 here. The points leader is involved in this, and that's for position. Area got a lap back somehow, some way, and is now back inside the top 10 for the first time since the green flag pit stops. William back up front. Kobo to second. Melody to third. Iron Mouse to fourth. Area's back into the top 5. The work of a champion. Right there by the 24. Kobo back underneath. Looking for the race lead. This will be 250 laps completed. Oh, contact! The bump and run by Aria on the Iron Mouse. Oh my goodness, that made me lose English. What a bump and run. The 24 is coming with a rampage underneath contact by the 10. Spins the 10 out. Hard into the inside wall goes William. Oh my God. That whole lap by the 24 was a sight to behold. First it was bump and run. The famous Bristol move. And then immediately after that, hook and dump. Head first into the inside wall. Luckily, not much damage, and not anybody else getting involved. Iron Mouse not too happy with the 24. I want to say the 10's also not happy too. Project Melody up front, Kobo in second, Merriweather third, Risu in fourth, and a very high rear-ended 85 in fifth. Sixth is Watson, seventh is Star, eighth is Gura. 9th is Kyoso. 10th is Iron Mouse. David falls to 11th, and there's the rest of the field. I ain't going to go through it all. Lights are out on the pace car. We are set to go back racing here. Lap 255 out of 325 in the books here when we get back racing. Bristol, baby. We are short track racing. Kobo in second. Got a good jump there. A lot better of a jump for a second place this time than in the last restart. I'm keeping my eye out on that 24 in case the 10 or the 22 get up next to them. Because that's gonna be interesting to watch. I can maybe understand a defensive argument by the 24 when it comes to that bump and run move, but that 10, wow. That 10 just got absolutely shunted out of the top 15. Well, actually, 15th, but yeah, it could have been a top 10. Iron Mouse still hangs on inside the top 10, though. So it's not like there's anything major that happened on that bump. And Williams still hanging on in 15th. But if there's any sort of a day here that 24 is having, it's been a topsy-turvy one. But it's going to be a massive points day if that 24 can stop making enemies out there. Good Lord. Kobo and Merriweather battling. I've seen this before in the past. We're seeing it again here today. Noriboshi back out of the pits as well. Her struggles continue today. Actually, Noriboshi... Well, I don't know. Noriboshi's being scored... Nope, never mind. Actually, being scored the leader. That's not right. That's not right. This track scoring strikes again. Track scoring issues strike again. There we go. It fixed itself. Whoa, Merriweather. The 94 is not on the lead lap. Yeah, their struggles continue. Where are they at? One down? Maybe two down? I don't even know. I'd assume 1 or 2 down. Still. Tyroki did get the wave around, by the way, too. But I don't know if anybody also saw, but he also went back into the pits. Yeah, the 3 and the 32, they are out of the race. They have left the race. So Doki Bird will finish 36th and Kason 37th. Sucks to see because the 32 was just not in... They were not involved at all in that wreck. And yet, they got involved. And the next thing you know... They end up finishing last place after having a solid finish last week. Or last race. I say last week as if it was last week. Feels like it. Risu takes back the lead. And back up front she goes. Out momentarily. Area up to 4. Trying to pass the 4. Who's trying to lead for the first time today. Watson all the way back in the 20s. In the starting spot. This 24 is aggressive, and she's gonna dump the 4, saves it. No, she doesn't. Into the wall. Merriweather involved. Caution is out. How is Soleil 6th? Good Lord. Another near catastrophe for the 60 car. And this time, an innocent bystander. The 24 is on a rampage today. The third different car cause for incident. Look at that. Right into the 4. Saves it. Hits the wall. And then, because of that, loses all control. Way up the track. Bam! Into the 60, into the 24. I think those 3 are the only ones involved, though. Get a big view here to see the rest of the field coming in. They're checking up behind. But I don't think that's any... No, I don't think there's any more red. There's contact between... There's contact here between Dreamer and Simu, but that's... Yeah, it was just little rubbing. And compared to what we've seen in the past, yeah, rubbing might as well just be, you know, nothing. Another caution. Another pace laps here. Yeah, 31 laps ago, we saw Doki Bird and Kason get involved in a wreck that took them out. They are going to stay out of this race here. Arisu is going to hang on to the race lead when they cross to complete lap 268. We're winding down the laps here. Almost 50 to go. We aren't 1 to green yet, but we'll quickly go through the field here since we completed lap 269. We'll restart a little more than 50 laps to go. It'll be Risu in front of Melody, and Kelso, who was a couple laps down not too long ago, has made a comeback and is now up to 3rd. Iron Mouse in 4th, Henya in 5th. Soleil somehow is up in 6th place, right in front of Nana in the 7. Merriweather keeping that car out there in 8th place with legit a massive spoiler for a wing, pretty much. The rear end being all jacked up from that last wreck. D is in 9th, and Starlight still somehow rocking it out there with some front end damage, 10th place. 11th is William. Okay, I'm curious to see that restart. Bell in 12th, 13th is Bao, 14th is David, 15th is Kobo, and the rest of the field on back. Noriboshi, 2nd in points, sits 30th, way far back behind. There's the rest of the field here. Lumi on the tail end of this field in 24th. 24 cars on the lead lap. Only a handful are left 1 down. Everybody else, okay, there goes Dreamer. That is a late wave around, but all right. I was going to say, all right, make that 25 cars on the lead lap. As green flags back in the air. That was a late restart, or a late wave around by the 89. Iron Mouse up to 3rd now. Kyoso with a bad restart attempt there. Henya has some front end damage. I think it might have been because of the calamity that was the restart. 60 and Merriweather's falling back. He was trying to stick it out like a warrior too to try to make sure that that damage wasn't major. Newsflash, it is. That damage looks worse than the 85's wreck. Area back up another spot. Climbing up through the ranks here. Solely inside the top 5. Good run so far by the 420. The only car with 3 digits in the number. 275 in the books here once the 2 car crosses the line. Lumi's in the pits. Melody in second. Iron Mouse in third. Enya in fourth. Battle for second here. Nose to tail between the 22 and the 36. Technically teammates, but I also don't count. I don't really have any teammates here. Nobody really works with anybody. Unless, I guess, if you count corpo agencies as, yeah, I don't know. Technically teammates here, second and third. And fourth. 3 out of the top 4 are all from VShojo. How about that? And they're helping each other for the race lead. That 2 car is at a disadvantage right now. 278 in the books coming across the line. Fastest lap of the day actually goes to the 64 car. Unfortunate that they're not going to be able to show for that speed. But there's the top 10 fastest laps on the screen right now. Melody leads that lap. These cars are bottoming out a lot once they get tight on each other. Here comes Soleil looking for fourth. Trying to break up the VShojo party. Hanging on tight. 280 in the books once across the line. Oh, big check there by the 22. Here comes Iron Mouse, trying to take that second spot away from Melody. Very tight, nose to tail, single file on the inside line. They are single file for the most part, but they're not separated. They are right on each other. The 2 and the 22 and the 420. That's the top 3 right now. As Soleil is underneath for the for that spot. Iron Mouse and Arisu. Those are the top 2, and they are side by side. They are side by side. Lumi again in the pits. Is there more damage to that 64? I don't know. I can't tell if there was more damage or not. Everybody has damage at this point. Here comes Iron Mouse to the inside. For the race lead. Soleil up to third. Kyoso's back in the picture here. 4th place. He fell back a couple spots on that restart. He's back up here. Less than 50 to go. Less than 40 to go when we cross the line. Here comes Soleil. They were in the back. They started in the back. Been in the back. Now up front. Now watch. As soon as I say that, they are going to get turned. I probably just jinxed the hell out of that 420. It wouldn't shock me. Watch out for that 24, especially when you're around the 24. They've been involved in multiple wrecks or multiple causes for caution already, or in some cases not. Iron Mouse, who got shunted by the 24, is leading the race. So in the end, Iron Mouse took that bump and run lightly. For better or for worse. Here comes Soleil. Well, doesn't make the move there. Top 5 are full of drivers that are looking to make a run for the championship, including the points leader. Since the points leader is up in this mix, it's not going to really mean much here. It's just saying. Let's see what happens here. Here goes Bell underneath to try and take that spot away from the 24. That's for 4th. As the other 3 ahead of them are nose to tail and side by side. Well, Bell looking to squeeze that 47. There's very room for air right now. There is very little room. You can't check. Oh. Soleil got that rear end all jacked up and had to let out of the gas, and now Kyoso gets shunted onto the high side. Here goes Bell to the inside, and this is for second. Melodies climbs back up to fourth, just behind these two. Bell going to throw it into turns 3 here. Can they make it stick? They do. And now the sights set on the race lead here. And as the race dwindles down, less than 34 to go here at this race. We restarted with 50 to go, a little more than that, and we have already dwindled down 20 or more laps. Here comes Risu. Now look at these two. The 77 and the 420. These two are battling back in the 30s at the beginning of this race. And now they're up front, battling inside the top 10. And David as well, he got turned by the 24 not too long ago. And also the 77 was the reason why the 3 car ended up out of the race. Not putting the blame on the 77, but I'm also putting the blame on the 77. Bell to the inside of Iron Mouse for the race lead. Melody trying to break that up by jacking up that rear end. And it's helping. Iron Mouse on the outside, hanging on. Risu on the bottom, though, right? Bottoms out. And David's going to take advantage underneath. Yeah, again, a lot of these drivers, if they get jacked up mid-corner, in-corner, somewhere, they will start bottoming out. We've seen it many times before already in this race. And with a little less than 30 laps to go, that's far from the last time we'll see that. I talked about Soleil being inside the top 10. They have fallen outside the top 10. And so has the 24. But still a lot of time left in this race. Iron Mouse hangs onto the race lead. Bell once again looking to make a move into turn 3 is underneath. Iron Mouse pinches. They're going to stay pretty equal. In fact, Bell's going to lead that lap. What happened behind? Oh, they're wrecking. Caution's out. Oh, the caution's out. David around. Many involved. What happened here? Top 3 just like pulled away and I have no idea what. Oh my God. David. Not again, dude. What? Why? Into the 85 just so lightly. Boom. And then, oh, Risu. No, it was Risu. Just, oh, hooks and dumps the 77. Who else gets involved here? Soleil barely misses this. Oh, DM. Oh, my God. Another wreck by DM. Fruits, Lumen, Fifi, Bimble, Tyroki. Henya slides away with no damage. Overdrive, no damage. Calamity Corner, still turn 1. Caution is out. Oh, man. Just as the battle was heating up. All right. So to restart here, it'll be Bell in first place, with Iron Mouse in second, Melody in third, Kelso in fourth, Anana in fifth, Kobo in sixth, Merryweather in seventh, still with a lot of damage. Area in 8th, D in 9th, Soleil in 10th, Simu back up to 11th, William in 12th, and there's the rest of the field as several drivers are pitting, including Risu. This will be with a little less than 24 laps to go to complete lap 301. Long race. But it's getting closer and closer to being the end here. One to go here on the backstretch. When we go back racing, we will have 22 laps to go in this race. Question remains as to whether or not that was the last wreck we'll see today, or if this is going to be a cause for more cautions. I'll pull up the ticker here when we have 15 laps to go, but for now, 303 out of 325 completed. Green flags back in the air. Iron Mouse, jump of the century by the 22. No time wasting. Back to the lead goes Iron Mouse. Back to the lead. And then back to second. Kyoso. He'll take second. Excuse me. Melody underneath, looking for third. It's Iron Mouse up front. Restart at second. Quickly grabs the race lead. Merriweather trying so badly to make that damaged car work wonders. Kelso trying to take back the race lead. He's going to have a run going into turn one. We haven't seen much from him ever since green flag pit stops ended. And the first caution came out. Oh, they're wrecking. Caution's out again. Oh, no. David again with another. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this didn't even happen in front of... This happened way in front... Oh, man. 3 wide here. Fu gets involved in this one. Nails the 6. And around they go. Dreamer gets involved. Bam. Bimble gets some damage there. See what happens here. David tries to avoid it. Crunk! Right into the corner panel. David just had some good luck not too long ago. And guess what? Not anymore. Not anymore. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't even the wreck. No, sorry. There was 2. There was 2 wrecks. There's the other one. There it was. That was the caution. I think DJ slid out or spun out. If you see Overdrive spinning out, yeah, it looks like DJ spun out. Because of this. There were 3 incidents. Not much. No damage. So there was multiple incidents. But it's David and Lucky that still gets the worst out of it. And I think that 77's done for the day. Put David in the retired category. He is done for the day. Too much damage on that front end. If he gets that damage repaired, I'll be amazed. Oh, they're wrecking already. Oh, Fu. And Overdrive. Short track tempers, man. Short track tempers. Wow. I wasn't going to pull up the ticker until we got back racing with 15 to go. But, all right. I guess when we go back racing, we'll have less than 15 to go. Cheapers creepers. I thought this was a run to the finish coming up. Anyways, when we restart, which will be the next cut here in a minute, we Iron Mouse up front, Kyoso in second, Melody in third, Kobo in fourth, Bell in fifth, Star in sixth, D in seventh, William in eighth, Merriweather ninth, 10th is Henya, Simu in 11th, Soleil still hanging on inside 12th, Sprite in 13th, 14th is Weebu, 15th is Fruit, and then there's the rest of the field on back as... We'll send it. Oh, wow. David's still out here. I mean, he's 1 lap, maybe 2 down. Now he'll be one of only 3 cars, 1 lap down. Everybody else is... Yeah. Oh, wow. Gura and Lumi are both out of the race. I mean... They both weren't having good races anyway. I was going to make a cut to this restart, but I guess we're having this restart now. 15 laps to go here as 4, maybe 5 cars out of this race. 15 laps to go here at Bristol. Melody makes a move to the inside. Kelso try to take the lead, try to take second, not the lead, second. And they are tight. But that's allowing the 22 to pull away. Kelso slides up, almost in the wall. He's going to lose multiple spots. Lucky's in the pits. That's at least one of maybe 2 cars that are in the pits. Yep. There's Bimble. Got the damage repaired, and here back out. Sucks for David, though. He was battling for the race lead many laps ago, and just as soon as he turned that race around, he's back to where he started, and that's where he's going to finish. Top 2 are V Shoujo members. Okay, with 11 laps to go, we'll see how aggressive they race each other. Do they race each other like teammates, or do they race each other like foes? Kobo's just behind them in 3rd. There's a bit of a gap till you get to 4th place, but we've seen it before. The gaps will immediately diminish as soon as the front battles become prevalent. Like now, here comes Melody. Back inside. We talk much about how that inside line's a dominant line to run. Melody's going to make it work. Back to the lead she goes. About 95% of the battles that have happened for the race lead, they're not as quickly said and done as as the other percentage has. And that's one of them where they quickly gave up the outside. And here comes Kobo. Fillion's in the picture here, but she is not battling for the win. She is a roadblock for anybody inside the top 5 right now. They're only separated by less than a second. Then it's on back. All right, now top 4, they don't have to worry about that 78. First car that has to deal with that 78 is Kyoso. Bell's up front. Back to 2nd. Iron Mouse falls to 3rd, but hangs on. Still has a shot to win it. 5 to go. Here comes Bell. Looking to win another one in this season. Quickly get some points on the championship leader. They're still, at this very moment, still inside the top 10, so it won't be a whole lot of points. But as of this moment, points are points. About 10, 11 points here. Actually, more than that. 3 points for winning the race. 3 bonus points. Couple laps to go here. Iron Mouse. Side by side for the lead. Tight going into 1. Can she make it work? Kobo helping the 22. There goes the 69. Clear up. 3 to go. Kobo looking for 2nd. That's what the 22 wants to see. As the laps dwindle down as quickly as they come. 2 laps to go here at Bristol. Kobo has 2 chances here to make things work. Good run off 4. It's going to be close. They're battling tight behind. Can they make it back to the white? They battle tight behind. They might make it to the white flag, and if they do, Kobo's going to have one last shot around Bristol. White flag. Looks to the inside. Side by side for the race lead. This is how Kobo won. Almost coming out of the corner. Final shot. Iron Mouse blocks low. Clears up. And it's Iron Mouse that wins it at Bristol Motor Speedway. By a 1/10 of a second this time around. Good win by the 22. And that's it for today's race at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll go through the full results here momentarily here. What a finish. Good race by the 22. Iron Mouse wins another one this season. Final results for today's race here at Bristol Motor Speedway will go like this. Everybody inside the top 10, with the exception of one driver, started inside the top 10. Iron Mouse started 32nd. She will finish first after leading 26 laps. Kobo leads 10 laps but finishes in 2nd. Kyoso with a top 5 finish after starting inside the top 5. Good recovery compared to where he was at just not too long after the first caution. Bell finishes in 4th, and D climbs from 37th all the way up to 5th. 36th starting spot for William with a 6th place finish for him, so a good climb up through the field for him. Melody finishes in 7th, Simu finishes in 8th, Henya finishes 9th, and our points leader coming in and out of today's race will lead 1 lap, but that 1 lap will help them out tremendously as Area will finish in 10th. Merriweather survives the melee of Bristol. After getting involved in several wrecks and leading 14 laps, they'll survive and get 11th. Soleil will finish 12th, Fruit in 13th, Tairoki in 14th, Dreamer in 15th, Sprite in 16th. 17th goes to Hano Mizuki. Nana will finish out in 18th. 19th is Bao, and the person who led the most amount of laps today, and that is Risu, starts off well with leading the most amount of laps, obviously, but didn't finish well, finishing in 20th after starting 35th, so kind of a, up and down day for them. DJ Overdrive will start exactly where he finished in 21st. Weebu in 22nd, Watson in 23rd, DM 24th, and everybody from down here will be either one or more laps down. As David leads 5 laps and finishes out 25th. Philly 26th, Cali 27th, Noriboshi 2 down in terms of laps, and 28th. Fu, who started 2nd, finishes 29th. Fifi, who started 6th, finishes 30th. Bimble, who started 4th, finishes 31st. Lucky in 32nd. Luminar Pulsitter out of the race here, 21 laps early than normal. He retired from the event with a blown engine that we did not see for whatever reason. 33rd for him. Gura 34th, just an irrelevant day for them and Lumi. Doki Bird 36th and Kason 37th after they tangled in a wreck. 8 cautions, 58 lead changes between 23 different drivers. So 23 drivers get that bonus point for leading a lap. Drivers that did not lead a lap today: Doki Bird, Lumi, Gura, Lucky, Fu, Fillion, DM, Watson, Weebu, Overdrive, Bao, Hano Mizuki, Henya, Simu. Those drivers did not lead a lap, and that means everybody that did not mention, they will have a couple point deficit, more than normal. Top 10 points. Let's get points up on the board here right now. 75 points, or 74 exactly, splits 1st through 10th, and then after that, it is almost a full race between 10th and 11th place. We'll get to 11th place here on down here momentarily. But again, points still stands between the 24s, keeping the points lead. But the spots on back, they get a little jumbled up here after today's race, as Bell moves up to 2nd place once again, and they'll be 25 points back. William is now 3rd place, 35 back, but not too far behind them is Noriboshi, who drops to 4th but sits 36 back. And then 1 point behind that is Soleil in 5th place. So 3rd through 6th are separated by 5 points. And then Kyoso down to 7th is another 10 back from Merriweather. So, and there's a tie for 8th place at the moment between David and DJ. They both are 56 back, as David has had some bad luck in the last couple of races. So hopefully he turns the tides around as we move on into our next event here, which is at Old Spice, which is our one and only road course between the next couple of pre-recorded races here as we move on through this season. Like I said, it depends on when I come back streaming, if I will continue from race 20 live or if it'll be pre-recorded. More likely than not, that'll be the case. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching. We will be back sometime next week for Old Spice. That'll be a very different race to what we saw today because of the track being bigger. You'll see it here next week. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care and good night.